Well, I'm now joined by Discovery Bank CEO Hylton Kallner to help us unpack the latest results. Hylton, welcome to Newzroom Afrika, of course. And what's your assessment of the group's results in the interim period?
Good afternoon, Motheo, and thanks for having me. I think the results were really pleasing. I think, as you said, they're positively received, and they reflect, I think, a lot of the foundations that have been built over a number of years. So really strong operating results coming through, and in the case of Discovery Bank, really strong growth. So the business is well positioned, and I think the results reflect that.
There was a bit of a blot there with those net profits down 11% for the 6 months to December. Is that why the group decided to withhold those dividends?
No, so I think there's a fundamental difference between sort of headline earnings and the normalized earnings, and we show both. So normalized headline earnings, which we believe is sort of a better reflection of the performance of the business, was up 30%. So a very strong operating result. The difference between the two metrics is the impact of interest rates, which affect the valuation of intangibles. So it doesn't affect cash flow or liquidity or solvency in any way, and therefore we normalize them out. So the operating result was up very strongly at 30%, and we chose not to reinstate the dividend because of the kind of growth prospects across the group. We strengthened the balance sheet. We've chosen not to go forward with a vendor placement in terms of raising capital for our Chinese business. That's being funded internally, and so it's really a decision to focus on growth and strengthening of the balance sheet, and that's playing out hopefully well for our shareholders.
We saw Finance Minister Godongwana's speech come through yesterday. Were you concerned at all that there was very little mention in the speech about the government, how government will fund NHI?
I think the NHI is obviously a long-term project, and it's going to be complex to fund given the current sort of fiscal position. So I think we remain positive in terms of the role that we can play, and there've been a number of sort of public-private partnerships, particularly through COVID, which have demonstrated, I think, really well how private sector can assist and play a meaningful role in the delivery of healthcare going forward. So I think that's probably natural that there would be a very small contribution towards a kind of NHI plan or rollout in the current context of the economy.
And where does Discovery Group see itself should the government roll out NHI in future?
So we would see ourselves as a kind of positive partner in that regard. And as I said, we understand, and I think we are supportive of the imperative to ensure that we have better access to healthcare for all South Africans. I think that's an absolute given. And I think we've said on numerous occasions that we think we've got a very strong role to play in that regard. So I think that was certainly demonstrated through COVID. And where the government and private sector worked incredibly well together, and was really able to drive some really successful projects. So I think that we are really committed to that.
Let's look at the hat that you wear now at the group as the CEO of Discovery Bank. Some good results for you there as well. The client base up more than 50% to some 500,000 banking clients. What's driving that particular growth?
So the growth was ahead of expectation, I think, as you said. Client growth, account growth is now over 1.3 million accounts, and deposits over 12.7 billion rand were recorded. So really pleasing growth. I think that Discovery Bank is fundamentally different in every single respect. It's a digitally led bank, but it's a full service bank. So we're able to offer our clients accounts from basic sort of pay as you transact accounts all the way through to full private banking facilities. So the kind of the proposition is a full service bank, but everything available on the mobile. So you can do all of your banking digitally, very efficient. A lot of tools, and we've seen some of the ecosystems that we've built, like travel booking systems, being utilized really well. And our clients are enjoying it. We're seeing that come through strongly with higher engagement and strong revenues coming through that as a result of our clients using the accounts, and really strong growth in terms of the bank resonating with all South Africans across the sort of the age and income spectrum.
Now, Hylton, the banking space in the country is highly competitive, as you know. How have you been able to attract new clients to the bank? Of course, some people might have trusted the old banks that they used to use, but as a new entrant in 2019, you seem to be stealing some of those away.
So our model is different. We've pioneered with a behavioral banking model. So the better you manage your money, the better the rewards in the bank. And our Vitality Money program really coaches clients and gives them a kind of a roadmap for better money management and healthier finances. And if they engage and they do manage their money well, so that's sort of spend less than you earn. So pretty simple kinds of rules that we're able to manage very efficiently and very effectively with our clients through the mobile app. If they engage and manage their money well, they'll have better interest rates on their savings, lower interest rates on their borrowings, and really rich rewards through things like our Discovery Miles program and our travel platform. So a really unique proposition that's being offered to clients, and really simple. So you can join by just downloading the app, and in a couple of minutes you can have the bank account up and running, and then do all of your banking in the palm of your hand 24/7. It's really, really simple and is fundamentally different, I would argue, to sort of a more conventional banking model, which revolves around traditional banking hours and branches, and is inherently, I guess, sort of less focused on people that manage their money well, as opposed to sort of, I suppose, clients who pay fees.
And, the war chest for the company, Discovery Group, Adrian Gore saying you're looking to spend more than 5 billion rand in new investments. Are you going to be getting a piece of that as Discovery Bank? And what are you going to be investing in future?
So I think the bank is on a very sort of clear trajectory and capital plan, which we've been, I think, very, very clear to the market. And that is in fact, moving very, very quickly towards a break-even point, certainly operationally, we anticipate the kind of next calendar year. So the sort of the capital demands from the bank are reducing over time, and that's in line with the sort of the reduction in investment required to get the bank going. That said, I think the bank offers real opportunity in the current retail space through advances and a bigger kind of loan book. In areas like personal loans and home loans down the line, and I think those will drive the business forward and require capital as they continue to grow, but really in line with the sort of the plans that we have.
Hylton, thank you very much for your time. That was Discovery Bank CEO Hylton Kallner. The company's shares up 3%. That is Discovery Group.